What's up, you guys? It's Nick here. As I'm sure you've seen, the new stimulus package was passed yesterday and signed into law. And there's been a lot of different parts of it. It's been really confusing and a lot of changes have been made. But now it's official. And I've been getting a lot of questions about the specifics of it. So I just wanted to outline those real quick, just high-level bullet points of the most important parts that are going to affect most people. Now, if you like videos like this, please smash the like button below. And if you want to get these updates as soon as they come out, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as I post a new video. If you have any questions that I don't cover in this video specifically, just comment your question below and I'd be happy to answer them later on. And with that, let's get to the video. Now, the first piece that everybody's asking about is those $1,400 stimulus checks. So yes, it was part of the bill, and yes, you probably are going to get it if you've gotten the ones in the past. A few changes, though, this time around. Dependents are going to get $1,400 as well as the parents. So if you have 3 kids, you're going to get a check for $7,000. That is $1,400 times you and your spouse and then your 3 kids. So that is a change from the first stimulus check, although the last $600 one was built that way as well. Not only that, but in the past, college students and adult dependents have been left out of these bills and haven't gotten any money. They changed that in this one. So college students will be receiving the $1,400 check. If they are claimed as a dependent, the check will go to the parents, but they will still get the $1,400. They won't be left out completely like they were in the other bills. Now, the income thresholds are really the only thing you need to worry about as far as qualifying. The income thresholds are the same as they have been. So for an individual, it's $75,000 or less. So if you make less than $75,000 on your adjusted gross income on your tax return, you'll get the full $1,400. Or for a married couple, it's $150,000. So if your adjusted gross income is less than $150,000 on your tax return, then you'll get the full $1,400. Now, in the past, it's been phased out from there, from $75,000 up to $100 for individuals and from $150 to $200 for couples. They changed that this time. It's a much shorter phase out. So for individuals, it gets phased out from $75,000 to $80,000. And for couples, it gets phased out from $150,000 to $160,000. So what that means is if you make over $160,000 or over $80,000 as an individual, then you will not be getting any of the stimulus check money. If you make somewhere in between the 75 and 80, or somewhere in between the 150 and 200 or $160,000, you'll get a portion, but it will be less than the full 1,400. And that's the biggest change, really, is just that difference in the phase out. But if you've received it in the past, the full amount, you should receive the full amount this time. All right, so the next big question is, when can I expect to get that money, that $1,400? Well, if you've gotten direct deposits in the past, probably next week. Comment below when you get it, but I'm guessing Tuesday, Wednesday next week is when we'll see a lot of people get those direct deposits in their account. And hopefully by Friday next week, most people will have received them. If you have gotten paper checks in the past, it's probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks at the earliest, just because of how long it takes to print and mail that many checks, and the government's not super fast at anything. So 2 to 3 weeks for paper checks, next week, hopefully, for the direct deposits. All right, the next part of the bill that I want to talk about is the child tax credit. Now, this is a new thing, and it's kind of complicated, but let's break it down. So in the past, you've gotten a $2,000 child tax credit on your tax return. All that means is if you owed, say, $10,000 in taxes and you had 1 kid, it would lower it by $2,000 to where you only owed $8,000 in taxes. It's a tax credit. They've changed that now from $2,000 to either $3,000 or $3,600, depending upon the age of your kid. For kids under 6, that child tax credit has now gone up to $3,600. For kids above 6, that is now $3,000. Now, they're wanting to do this in installment payments. So they've talked about doing it monthly or maybe quarterly, and they haven't really settled on that. So we don't really know how they're going to physically disperse the child tax credit. But starting in July, the idea is that you will get a monthly check from the government for either $250, that's the $3,000 divided by 12 months, or $300, the $3,600 divided by 12 months, every month for however many kids you have. Now, when it comes time to file your taxes in 2021, you will not be able to take the typical $2,000 tax credit. This is replacing that. So the net benefit is really just $1,600 for every kid under 6 and $1,000 for every kid over 6. But it's trying to get money in people's hands earlier so that they can help out with bills and whatever else they need going on. All right, so let's run through an example real quick. Let's say you have 3 kids, 2 are under 6 and 1 is over 6. That would mean that you would get a monthly check, ideally, of $300 for the 2 kids under 6 and $250 for the kid over 6, which would be $850. And you'd start receiving that probably in July. Every month you would get a check from the government for $850 now to the end of next year. It's unclear if it would go into the next year or if whatever's remaining would just be taken off on your tax return. But that's basically how they're going to calculate it and how you're going to get your money. All right, the third thing that I want to talk about is the unemployment boost. So the unemployment boost is actually set to expire on Monday, March 15th, which is really the whole reason that this bill finally got done, finally got passed. There was some urgency to it. Nothing like the government to wait till the very last minute to get something done. But they did. And now it is extended. The $300 unemployment boost has now been extended through Labor Day. So probably there won't be another package until then. But at least for now, if you're on unemployment and you're getting that boost, you will continue to get $300 boost through the end of Labor Day on unemployment. Another new thing that is in this bill is the unemployment tax waiver. This has never been done before to my knowledge, but basically what they're saying is when you file your 2020 tax return, that the first $10,200 that you made off of unemployment will now not be taxed. And you may be asking yourself, wait, they used to tax unemployment? That's right. The government gets their money coming and going. They give out free money for unemployment, and then they turn around and say, hey, but you owe us taxes on that money. Now they're saying the first $10,200 that you received in unemployment will not be taxed. So depending upon your tax bracket, say you're in the 20%, it's about $2,000 in savings, which could be substantial based on how much you collected in unemployment and what tax bracket you're in. So those are really the 4 main things that I think are going to affect most people. There's a lot more in this bill. It's a $1.9 trillion bill. But those are the things that I think are going to affect most people and the details surrounding them in this final one that actually got passed. There was a lot of negotiation back and forth, but this is the final ruling on all of those things. Again, if you have any questions, comment below. I'd be happy to answer them, research them for you. And hopefully you found this helpful and useful. And we will talk to you next time.